Hi, this is Gloria.
Hi, this is Britt, and this is The Whispers.
Episode 4.
Yeah, episode 4, we're back.
Yeah.
We're back with a vengeance, as always.
So, today's episode is letting go and starting over.
And starting over. But first, how was your week? How are you?
How was my week? This week
Headspace, all that.
was another up and down week.
Okay.
I'm gonna be completely honest, it was almost an exact repeat of the
Okay.
week prior. But got a lot more clarity this week, so I'm happy about that. And I'm ready to move forward, honestly.
Right,
So,
just understand it's always a process.
100%.
Yeah.
It's wave after wave, but I saw it coming. So I wrote it how I was supposed to.
Okay.
So it's like, what about you?
For me, it's been a pretty cool week. Only worked 4 days. I was off Sunday because my partner's birthday was on Sunday, and I did.
Happy belated birthday to you.
I know.
If you're listening.
He's an old man. He's 37 now.
It's not old.
Yeah, he is. He's very old school, so it's old to me. But I did the most. I will say, how do you explain it? Most heartfelt gift I could give him because he really doesn't celebrate his birthday.
Mhm.
So I did something really cute. And listen, I'm queer, so I'm gonna say it. I did something really gay. I can say it. I mean, so what I did is I got him a birthday card with a hamburger on it because he loves hamburgers. And then inside the card, I wrote 37 reasons why I love you. I know what I wrote. What I wrote about him, and then I gave him $37 because my aunt, when it's our birthday, she would give us exactly how much we were that year. So it's $1 a year. So I gave him exactly $37, and then on top of that, he's addicted to honey buns. So I got him a box of honey buns and
sugar rush.
Listen. What he does with it, oh well. But the card was green with a hamburger on it, and I was able to find candles that were green. That when you light them, it's his favorite color.
That's cute.
So then when you light the candles, they're green too.
Wow.
Yeah, so I went hard.
Tell me about these candles.
They were from Walmart, so they were cool.
Nice.
And I told him because my his daughter's birthday is next week. I was like, use those candles for her birthday because I think her favorite color is in the pack too. Yeah, use them. So it was a 12-pack, so it was fine. But he doesn't really like to celebrate his birthday because his uncle passed away, and he is just sad on that day. But I really tried to work hard to make him feel a little bit better. Gotcha. He told me that he was very grateful for the gifts, even though he was still sad. It was just still something to show like.
Awesome.
I can't believe it.
Partner for that. That was very
listen, I got that from somebody in high school, in our high school. She did 16 reasons why she loves some boy. And I was like, I'm gonna take that and use it for somebody. And I used it now in 2025 for my partner.
That is great.
Yeah.
Good week for you.
Yeah, awesome. It's been pretty chill. Oh, also, Gloria did something great for me. What did I do? She started my lock journey.
Oh, right. I'm like, what? I was so confused for a quick second. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, now I am started my lock journey. It's what I'm going to do for 30. And Gloria is the one who started it for me. And I think that is amazing. So thank you.
You're very welcome.
I think that when you do go on the journey of locks, it should be by somebody that you know has your best interests because your energy is good. So then my energy is good. So then it goes forward. So, yeah.
You're welcome.
So, I mean,
So, yeah, now we're both locked. Because you guys cannot see us. I have micro locks that I put in myself. Mine's is braids. And Brittany's is starting hers off with twists. And she's going to do pommels.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Now I want to do an episode on locks, too.
We can do an episode on locks. We can.
That would be nice.
We can.
Cool. All right, we're going to write that down in the plan.
Yeah, see? Easy. Just right there. Right there on the books.
Gotcha. We already got like 20 things.
I know.
From what we said in past.
I know.
Ready.
It's going.
Even write those down yet.
I think they're in text.
Are they?
I think they're in text.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we're going too bad.
Searching to do. Okay, so with letting go and starting over, who wants to start? Do you want to start?
I think mine is. I think mine is very painful, I guess you can say.
Okay.
Probably for some viewers.
Okay.
Oh,
like
also,
triggering?
yeah,
Okay.
I think it would probably be a little triggering for anybody that has lost a partner. So I don't know. Do you want to go first? I mean, we can rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Gotta say like rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I got scissors, guys. Gloria had paper. I'm sorry. So, disclaimer, just in case anybody is triggered, understand that we're okay if you sit this one out, or if you fast forward about like 20, like 5-10 minutes, something like that. Yeah. And
we can put a little marker.
Yeah, we'll put a marker in the description. Just check back in once I am finished if it is a little too much for you. And that's okay. Yeah, I think in 2021, 2022, I'm not too sure on the date. It was a while ago. Or I try to probably really block that date out. I lost a partner. He was killed by gun violence. He was murdered. And he was murdered because his friend what heart was broken. That's how I see it. What happened in that situation is that my partner and his friends found out that the one friend was stealing from them. So they basically set him up to be jumped, and then they left him in a part of Philadelphia. And the retaliation was the friend shooting up the house. And then the retaliation after that was the friend killing my partner. And I was the one that I knew something was off that night into the day, because he was going out to like car meets, and he called me and I was like, yeah, I love you. Just make sure you're safe. It's not the best time to be out, because after he like helped set up the jumping, I was like, yeah, you shouldn't have did that. I was like, I think that's the beginning of the end for you, and you gotta take that how you do. And that night he went to a car meet, and I told him, yeah, I love you, just be safe. And I had his like location, and at something, I don't know what it is, I will say, when y'all say y'all don't believe in the supernatural or God or anything, it's something there. Because I woke up at 4 in the morning out of nowhere, and something said check his location. So then I checked it. I'm like, oh, he probably just got home, because it said he was in like King's parking lot, like right on Stanton, the high school. And I was like, oh, okay. But then 4:30 started to roll around. I was like, oh, okay, like why is this phone still in the parking lot? And then 5:30 hit, and I was like, yeah, he should be like going to work. And in my brain, I was like, you know what? It's only a 20-minute drive. Like, let me just go. It's just a 20-minute drive. What's that to me, to make sure everything is okay? And I got to his block. I turned the corner, and what I saw were police cars. And then the next thing I saw was his car was shot up. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And I don't do what I did. I did something illegal. I did a U-turn in front of the police. I didn't care. And his block was a one-way, so I turned down the one-way. And I put my hazards on, jumped out, and blocked the whole street, traffic and everything, and knocked on his grandmother's door, because his aunt's door, because he was living with his aunt. She was raising him and his other siblings at the time too. And I said that, I mean, he is deceased. I mean, yeah. Family privacy. Yeah. I will block out his name. Sorry. I said that he's been shot. And they were like, what are you talking about? I'm like, his car is up the street and it's shot up. Like, he's been shot. And his sister's like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, I need you to understand, like, he's I don't know where he is, but he's been shot up. And it was so funny, because at the time his sister was dating my cousin. And I was like, no, I'm serious. Like I think you need to like sit down for a minute. And then she started to cry, because she was like, we heard gunshots at 3:30 in the morning. And I was like, yeah, I was like, yeah, that was probably it. So we got in my car because I was blocking traffic. So I had to, back up. And we went to the hospital and they said that, oh, we don't know who he is because we had 3 gunshot victims last night. So they said, you got to go home and wait. So we went back to his aunt's house. We waited. They called us and they just was calling about insurance. And then his aunt was like, so is he okay? Like, is he breathing? Like, what is it? And the lady was like, the detectives will call you. And I was like,
that's annoying. Like, why y'all calling us about other stuff and you're not telling
yeah. And I was just like, and I think this is the first time I really told you like the full story as well. And they said the detectives will call you. And I was like, yeah. If a doctor is not calling, then if a detective is calling, then he obviously is not able to speak. And they said after they found out who he was and made sure, they said we could come and see him. So then we went back to the hospital. And the hospital's not that far, by the way. So we went back to the hospital. We went. And before they pointed out his room, something told me to just look left. I looked left and it was him on the breathing machine. Yeah. So then we finally went in his room and on the board, it said he was shot 18 to 19 times. And then they said the goal for the day is just breathing. And then his brother was like, oh, they shaved half of his head because he was shot in the head twice. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, yeah, he's not on any like pain meds and anything. So what happened is they were telling us the story. They were like, so what happened is that he was sitting in his car about to get out, and I believe he was set up as well. And because nobody knew where he was parking at the time due to the circumstances, and I think his friends helped set that up. I will say that. And he was, it wasn't his fucking friend. Yeah, right. I've been for a really long time. I was telling him like, yo, these ain't your people. But he wanted to be at car meets so bad and have those friends, and it was just like,
he's blind to it.
Yeah, and it was more like he just couldn't, like, I would say help himself. His one obsession was really cars. Like, he really loved cars. So I was like, all right, I can see that, whatever. I see that, but they weren't his friends. And what happened is he was sitting in his car, they shot up the car, and the gunfire was so loud that the police heard it around the corner. And they came around the corner and they were able to get an ambulance there just in time to get him to the hospital. But
that's good.
Regardless, he was brain dead, right? He was shot in the head twice, and they got him there. He was breathing on a machine, but he was never going to recover because there was no cognitive, like, anything going on there. And that was it. That was it. And then they said that we could come and say our goodbyes. His aunt got his clothing and everything, and she donated like all his organs and everything. And I thought that was nice.
Was he an organ donor or she just?
He was an organ donor, and it was so funny because like when I met him, I was like, you better get that shit off your ID, because I feel like that's me conspiracy. Me saying like, oh, I don't think they work as hard to save you if they see organ donor because they can save other lives. That's just a conspiracy. But that's probably like a black people conspiracy, you know? So I was like, yeah, you better get that off of there. But no, I guess it worked out in the end because they were able to donate a lot of what he had, like from skin, eyes, heart, liver, like all that, kidneys. So I thought that was very amazing. Yeah, that was a wild year. That was a wild year. And after all that happened, my family was very terrified for me, for my mental, I guess, because every day my aunt and my guma, which is just another word for grandmother in Swahili, they texted me every day to make sure like I was okay, and my stepmom did too. And I think they thought I was gonna hurt myself, but I was just like extremely sad. That was it. Other than that, I was I was all right. I just wasn't eating as much, so it was.
He was your partner at the time. So
It was like I went. Yeah, I went every day talking to him, and then the day that like I dropped his aunt back home at the hospital the day he died, she was like, "Yeah, don't be a stranger," and I was like, "Oh yeah, like."
No reason
I'm not going to see you. Yeah, I'm not going to see you anymore. Like it really clicked in. Like, oh, this person is gone. I was like, okay. I was like, huh. I was like, okay, all right. And the beginning of that was the beginning of feeling immense pain because his aunt didn't even do a funeral. They just cremated him. And that was it. Like no ceremony, no like get together at the house. It was just like cremation, nothing. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like,
give you an opportunity.
Yeah, nothing. So I went on my own and got like a tattoo of a cat turning into a heart. So that's to him. Yeah. And it's on my ankle. So yeah, I did my own, I guess, memorial or whatever. But just seeing that pain, well, feeling that pain, and then going through it for like weeks to months, because after that happened, I had some type of guilt after a month or so because I was like, oh, am I ready to move on? Like, should I move on? Am I ready to move on? I'm still young. Is it right for me to move on? I was worried about like dating and then like running into his friends and his friends be like, oh, what are you doing dating? Like something like that, or thinking that I'm moving too fast. I know, right? I know, but that was like my mental, like
his friends, or
like just his friends in general.
No, like the people who are actually his friends.
I don't even know if any of them were actually his friends though. Okay. That's how far. Yeah. So I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm just happy that it didn't retaliate on you.
Right.
That he was doing.
Right. Because I was like, I really just don't. I don't know. And the pain that I had was so immense that I didn't know how to function. I think I only took off like 4 days from work. And
only 4 days is a lot.
I didn't think 4 days was a lot. I think no, wait. Was it 4 days? Yeah, it was like 3.5. 3.5 because I called out the day that he died. And I took out that many and I just wasn't sleeping at home. But then when I used to work overnight at work. So since I don't work there anymore, I was sleeping at work because it was the only place I really felt safe. Because I was like, yeah, I live in Philadelphia. These people live in Philadelphia too. I mean, even though like I used to just tell him to like leave these people alone, but it was never like I had any evidence to prove like that these are the individuals that actually did it. Even though we know he did it, but it's always what you can prove in court, right? So it didn't matter what I knew. If I wasn't there when it happened, there's no reason for me to be scared. But I didn't know that until now.
And how did you heal from that to move forward?
It took a lot of, and I know this sounds crazy, it took a lot of isolation.
It's not crazy at all.
It took a lot of me crying to myself because, again, if y'all don't know, like I have emotionless parents. Like my dad can't process emotion right, and my mom, it's very weird and convoluted how her emotions work. So she couldn't really help me through that. And
who did help you?
Just my grandmother and my aunt and my stepmom text me every day.
I'm happy that they
like my stepmom would be like, listen, I'm going to give you like a few things to do today. And she would text me in the morning and be like, today you have to eat. She was like, I'll text you later to see if you ate. And then the next day would be like, today you have to shower. Gotcha. I'll text you later to see if you showered. So like the smallest things, right? Mm-hmm. So I used to be like, all right, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'm doing it. I was like, I just don't really feel like it. Eating was the hardest. Showering was easy. Eating was just the hardest. Because I was like, why should I be hungry? Like I think I went 3 days without eating. And that was like, I realized like, oh, this is real grief. Like, oh my God. Yeah. And after that, it just I told myself that it's a day-to-day process. Mm-hmm. And that's what it started to become, was a day-to-day process. And I started to get better. And then that's when the anxiety of like, oh, are they going to come after me? Right. And that's when I started sleeping at work. And then it was the anxiety of like, oh, like I know he only passed away like a few months ago. Like, could I date? Am I ready to date? Mm-hmm. Like, should I date? So what I did instead of dating is I started talking back to my ex of the narcissistic asshole. Mm-hmm. I started talking back to him, and I felt like okay, but then it was like I just couldn't get away from him, because then come to find out he ended up buying a car from the friends who killed him, and I was like, yes.
Did he know them?
No,
that's a sign from the universe,
right? He was just randomly buying a car, and I was going to help him, like, because you need two people to buy a car, and I was like, huh.
So you went there with him?
Yeah, randomly. Yeah, like we went to like a tag place.
Did y'all finish the whole process?
Yeah, but I was in his car.
And then
and I sat in his car, and his car is tinted.
Got you.
And I was just like, I saw
the people,
like the person get out. I was like, I know this guy that got out. And then the second guy that got out, I was like,
I would have had an anxiety attack.
I did. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, oh, okay. So after that, I was like, yeah, I just gotta like, and my ex is not, I just gotta leave people alone. Right. I was like, my ex is not even about that. He didn't know. He just was like, this is a very small world. Like, Philly is a small city. Mm-hmm. Might be a lot of us, but small. He was like, this is a very small world. He was like, I can't believe this right now. He was even in shock. He was worried about like my safety at that point too. And he
was still worried about your safety.
Yeah, but I think it was just a narcissism thing, because after all that happened and everything, and we were like dealing with each other, he was like, yeah, all this you doing for him, if anything was to happen to me, you better be doing this for me. I just was like, what are you talking about right now? Right. I was like, what? And he used to always make statements like,
to entertain anyway.
Right. And he used to always make statements like, oh, I can't help you get over like another man.
I want to ask you to.
I didn't ask that. I thought we were just friends right now, like genuine friends. Mm-hmm. Right now, like I'm not even asking for you to be with me or nothing. I was like, I thought we were genuinely friends, because we used to play the game together and stuff. So I thought this was genuine friendship, and I was like, I was like, oh, you got something going on over there. And then he asked me a very crazy question, and I know this was to see if he could get my head. He asked me if I wanted to kill the killers. And I was like, listen, bro, I was like, what are you on right now?
All right, I'm on the fence with that one. Like,
well,
is that really a crazy question?
I think it's a crazy question, because he said we could get away with it. But no. I think he would snitch in a minute, because he's a narcissistic asshole.
I mean, I was thinking that he acted out of concern, like he want revenge or something. He was just trying to be manipulative and see if he can get you in a situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Yeah, he was never gonna. No, never.
Yeah, that's wild as shit.
Yeah, that's why I was like, mm-mm.
Gotcha.
So the involvement from there was me just moving forward, and actually, even if it was something small, was making the dating profile, right? And then swiping, and then having conversations, and then texting, and then going after that, right? It took some time, and then I decided like, all right, well, yeah, I think I am ready for a relationship. But it was still me praying and thinking every day to myself, because I really didn't feel like anybody could truly help me with that, because nobody else went through it. Like, older people have partners that are like elderlies, but for somebody so young as me, and I think I was like 23 at the time, to have somebody be murdered, be murdered in such a violent way, it was like, I don't really think anybody else can help me. I could probably help myself. But I will say, for other individuals, if you need a grievance counselor, go ahead. And that was still at the height of me still going to church, praying. Like I had other vices to help me. It wasn't just me and my mental, it was me and God. And at that moment in time, I was mad at God because I was like, why would you do that? Why would you let me go through this? Is it a lesson that I have to learn to help somebody else? Like, why would you do that?
God, oh my God, girl, you just triggered.
I know.
That just triggered me low key. I'm like, yo.
I know, being mad at this man. But I think people also need to understand is that that's a healthy relationship with God if you can be mad at him. He's not this person that you can't be mad at because he knows what's going to happen before. Right. And he understands what's going on. So I was mad at him. That was a lot. Huh? I said jinx. Oh, I owe you a soda.
You do. I want a Sprite, but continue.
So like I was mad at him. Like it was a lot of me, you know, going back and forth with faith. Like I did those battles for me to come forward. Now what somebody else has to do to go forward, like that's up to you. But I will say always seek outside help. I had my religious leaders, you know, my religious people praying, calling me and stuff like that. I had that, right? I had my grandmother, my aunt. They're both very religious people, right? I had that. But if you don't have that, please seek a grievance counselor. Seek somebody else that can help you, because like I evolved through the pain on my own with help, because I had this thought like, oh, this is supposed to be like this because of something else greater. Understood. But if you don't have that, please seek some help. Don't do what I did, because I probably could have got not out of that faster, but I probably could have had better coping mechanisms, because even after that, I have fear even for my own partner when he doesn't answer my text by a certain time or anything. Girl, that part. Yeah, because I'll text him and be like, oh, are you okay? And he'd be like, hey, I'm fine. I should have texted you earlier. Like he's very open with understanding that due to the situation of me telling. Yeah.
Confused. She's talking about her current partner.
Right? Yeah, my current partner right now. Yeah. My current partner right now. I've told him like what has happened, and he's like, yeah, that's terrible. And he works diligently on keeping me in the know about what's going on with him. Right. So it's a work in progress, but all the time I am terrified, because you know it's Philadelphia. Yeah, it's Philadelphia.
Do you feel like you're making or have made a significant amount of progress since that time?
I think I have, because I always run through my mind with my partner when it's a moment where he hasn't answered me in a long time. And when I say a long time, I'm talking about like an hour or two, y'all. Like I text him, he usually get back to me pretty quickly. So if an hour or two go by, I'm like, all right, what's up? I know you at work, but like, did something happen at work? Because he's the manager of security at like a big museum. So it's like, all right, what's up? What's going on there? So like that's the only thing. But I will say I definitely made progress, because I'm not as worried anymore. But before I used to be very terrified. I had very much extreme anxiety. But now I don't, because even though he doesn't get into anything, it's still a thought, because you know it could happen, even if it's not because he hurt a friend. Yeah, so that's my story.
I'm thankful that you shared. Thank you for being vulnerable.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's rough out here. Right, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Like, I just know for other individuals that could be tough to hear, because I think also what I did is to get through it, I stayed off of social media for like 2-3 weeks, or I think a month. So like when you do that, because the killer was taunting me on Facebook, come to find out. Yeah, I wrote a post about him, and then the killer like hearted it.
That's creepy.
So that made me realize I'm going to stay off of social media for like a month.
Right.
So yeah. So it was like,
oh my God.
I know. So it was like it was a lot going on.
Right. And I'm
for
happy
me
that you decided that, because what you was dealing with on top of that shit.
Right.
Come on. Like, don't make your protective services now involved.
Right. And shit. Actually, like, you know what I will say? When it comes to Philadelphia, first of all, that's my grandmother's phone ringing. If anybody can hear it. Right. I don't know what she's doing. But I will say I contacted the detective, like the homicide detective, saying like, hey, he's doing this weird stuff on Facebook. And they were like, they're like, okay, well, be safe.
That's really what they said?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck them. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm so serious. Yeah, that's what that's exactly what they said. I was like,
wow. Well, y'all can.
I was like, but technically I was safe because at one point, like, I went to go. Before all this happened, I had a firearm.
But that no,
right, but point. It wasn't the point. It was. I was like, I was like, I see where y'all at right now. I was like, okay.
That's just toxicity.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Block,
yeah.
Change social media.
Right. So I stayed off of social media for a month. I made my stuff private. And then
I've always been a stickler
it took about that. It took like a year, and when things died down, that's when I made my Facebook unprivate again, because then I started YouTube for my YouTube channel on true crime. So then so it took a while, but like one thing that will definitely help is staying off of social media, because he was a big person in the car community. So a lot of people was posting about him saying like long live whatever, long live, like it's crazy this happened, I don't like stuff like this. So it was like, I gotta stay off of here. And also a lot of secrets come out when you die if you didn't know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you don't know, and a lot of secrets. A lot of secrets come out when you die, and it was a lot of pain after losing somebody. It was more pain because then his ex sent me a message.
What the fuck she want?
And she was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry for what you're going through or whatever." I just read it, and then she ended it like this. This one I was like, "Oh, you a weird bitch." Seriously, she ended it with like, "I'm sure he loved the both of us."
Great, go on about your life. Like what?
I was like, "Oh, okay." So you basically just told me y'all was messing around still. Okay, thank you. I was like, appreciate you, but crazy. I just looked at that and then like deleted it.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, what? I was like, what was the need for that? Like, I was like, was that attention? Like
that too.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, y'all was still messing around. I was like, yeah, well, he's deceased. So I was like, yeah, he's deceased, and that's it. Yeah, I wasn't even mad. I was in the moment. I was like, oh. And I will say every now and again, things will happen where I'll be like, yeah, you was really wrong. Like,
no, he really was.
Yeah, wrong. And I can't even. And I think,
I mean, like he's
what I think what pisses me off is that like I can't even confront you,
right? Because
you did. So now I gotta like sit there and be like, yo, you was really out here wilding.
You can still talk to him in spirit. Listen,
man, because listen, I'm very spiritual, and when he died, I used to dream about him all the time, and I truly do believe that your loved ones come and visit you when they are deceased.
I agree.
And he would come and visit me, and I used
to talk about that in my disclosure.
I used to talk to him. I'm not crazy, y'all, but that's just my belief, because like my aunt passed away. Her name is B, and it'll be times where she doesn't come. She come and visit me, and she always wearing white and she don't speak. And I know that's just her coming to say hi, because like maybe the day before or that day, I'm like, oh, I really just miss B today. Gotcha. But like, yeah, that's all she do. She don't really speak. She just sit there like, or stand there in white.
You have a sensitivity to it too. And
probably
you're open to that. So
yeah. So like he used to come, and I used to be like, yeah, you was weird. I was like, don't come back here if you're gonna be weird. And I remember one dream I had was like a weird in between one, and he was on the other side and I was on one, and I was like, oh, like I was like, you don't have any clothes on. Why don't you have any clothes on? Because I'm coming to you naked. Yeah, but well, he had like shorts on, and I was like, why are you have no clothes? I was like, I'm gonna go get you some clothes, but you need to like stay right here, and I'm gonna go get you like some clothes or whatever. And then he didn't speak either. Like anytime somebody I think spiritual comes to my dream, they don't speak. Gotcha. I don't hear no voice, no nothing. So yeah, so that's how I went through a lot of shit. How about you?
I know. So again, trigger warning. Mine is also an emotional experience. That still kind of, I won't say haunts me to this day, but is a big factor in how I move in the world and how I go about letting people go, basically, whether they're dead or just moving out of my life. And this topic came up because I was realizing how triggered I get when people leave my life. Now, I don't know what my attachment style is. Honestly, I need to look that up so I can figure out how to approach it. But I do see that I do have some habits when people leave my life, whether I'm talking to somebody and they leave, or whether I I break up with somebody or whether I'm just not being friends with the person, like I've noticed that I have some habits and I'm like, where did that come from? And that all stemmed from when I lost my grandmother.
Okay.
So
it might be an anxious attachment. If you're not avoiding that person, it might be anxious. Anxiety.
I don't know, girl. I gotta look it up. Okay. I gotta look it up. But so what happened with my grandmother, mind you, my dad went to jail when I was younger. So I was basically raised by my grandparents. And my grandmother was my mother. Like literally, she was my mother, my best friend. I was around her all the time. Now my mom, she was in and out of the picture at the time. Whole nother backstory that I don't want to get into right now. But long story short, at that time, my grandmother was the closest to me.
Right.
And I didn't know she was sick, but I told her, I thought that me and her had a closeness to where how do I describe this? I was very mature for a child, and I was very attuned with what was going around in me. I told my grandma, I said, listen, like, if something's wrong with you, please tell me because I want to know, I want to be prepared. And she still didn't tell me. She said everything was fine. Like, even if I'm watching a TV show and I see about some kids getting adopted, I'm like, am I adopted? Because I need to know now so I can start figuring out. Like, that's how attentive I was to shit. I'm like, tell me. Don't keep secrets.
Which is so funny. My grandmother, when she got sick or needed knee replacement, she didn't tell us either. And I was like, I don't know what that is. Like, why are y'all? Yeah, that's
the generational difference.
Yeah, it probably is.
So long story short, mind you, with her being the closest to me, she raised me. At that time, my grandmother and grandfather, they were hoarders, so the house was very cluttered. And I brought that up to say that I was sleeping in my room with my grandmother for, bless you, her grandmother sneezed upstairs. I was sleeping in the room with her for the longest time because that was the only room that was clear. It was her room, then it was my aunt's room, and it was the back room where my grandfather was sleeping. And so we were together 24/7. We woke up when we went to bed, like on the weekend, we was always together. It was just me and her. So it goes from seeing her every day to no longer having her in my life. Mind you, she's my best friend. I came home. I remember this day like it was yesterday. She was mad at me for some reason in the morning. And like a child, I'm like, like just kind of not even being rude, but just taunting her because that's how we had that relationship. And I left to go to school, and I stayed late in school that day because I wanted to finish up a project. And I decided, normally this is when I just really started catching the bus on my own.
Okay.
I was 13 at the time, and I called my dad and I was like, hey, can you call grandma and let her know that I'm gonna be late? And I decided literally not to call her because I knew she was still mad at me. And I was like, I don't want to talk to her. Can you just call her for me? And my dad talked to her and he told her what happened or whatever. And for some reason, I am completing my project at school, and I just get like this weird feeling in my gut, like something feels off.
Yeah.
I'm a kid, I don't know what's going on. Then I'm getting a text message. Mind you, this is just when text messages really just started being a thing. I had my little Nokia phone, the little thing at the top. It wasn't a flip, where you got
just to
press
slide
the button.
up.
For real. You gotta press the button like 3 times to get that one text. I love that phone. But I get the text saying, hey, has anyone heard from mom? Like, she's not answering the phone. And mind you, my dad already told me he talked to her earlier, and I'm like, yeah, dad just called her earlier. They're saying, they're saying, hey, just go to the house and check on her. So I decided to leave, and I go to my grandma. I left to go home. And when I got off the bus, mind you, I have to go up a hill to get to my house. For some reason, I just started running. I was just like, I just feel the need that I shouldn't be walking. I ran to the house, and I went upstairs, and unfortunately, I had found her in her room, and she had died on the bed.
Really?
And when I got in there, I tried to wake her up. Mind you, I'm a kid. I didn't know really to call 911. I knew to call 911, but my mind wasn't processing it. I was trying to just wake her up. And my aunt came in probably felt like 5 minutes later, and she called the ambulance. They ended up coming a few minutes later, and we all just made our way to the hospital. The whole time from when my aunt came in to get to the hospital, I do not remember. It was just like a whole blank. I remember being in the hospital, and then I remember my aunt being there, my dad, my grandpa, and my cousins had came as well. We was like all the closest. And it pissed me off because the doctors came in giving us all of this good news first. Like, oh, well, we tried this, and then we did this, and then we did that. All for them to just say that she fucking passed away. And that pissed me off because it's just like, why would you give us the good
why didn't you start off with like, hey,
exactly.
I'm sorry to let you know
Yeah.
She's not here right now, but I'm gonna let you know what we did.
Exactly. They were like, so we were able to go ahead and get her incubated. We did CPR. We were able to do that. And then they just like led into it. And so after that, it was complete devastation. Of course, we were all sad. And I ended up going home with my aunt and I stayed at their house for the night.
Okay.
And the whole process after that was really different because the house was just quiet. The house was quiet and nobody.
So weird quiet, isn't it?
Very weird quiet, just like an eerie feeling throughout the house. Mind you, I have nowhere else to sleep. At this point in time, the house, even though the house was hoarding, at this point in time, we cleared up some of it to where I had my own room in the back. And losing her, I really lost like a part of myself because she was my mother.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that was your mom.
Like, and it was just like even though she was my mom and my grandfather was there, me and my grandfather weren't that close in that way, like not conversation wise. And it was like I felt like I had nobody to talk to. I had no connection with anybody. My mom is already not in my life right now.
Right.
My dad is in jail. Well, no, sorry. My dad had came home at that point in time. I'm sorry. My dad had just got back. And me and him are still developing a relationship, even though he was always calling me every time he was in jail, which was cool. He called me every day.
It's different from like being in person.
It's very different from being in person. Yeah. So it was like I was trying to rebuild myself, like figure out who I was. Like going to school, I was a completely different person.
Also, the trauma of finding her is something unimaginable.
It is, and I still have to go to the house every day.
Yeah, so that's hard.
It's very triggering going into the house, and I was a different person in school. My grades dropped, of course. Like all the teachers, and I started cheating on tests because I wasn't studying.
Did you get bereavement days? Did you?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember. I know that they tried to put me in grievance counseling.
Okay.
That I do remember while in school, but I kept skipping because I didn't want to talk to anybody.
Okay.
I was like, I don't want to talk. I would just leave and just go back home. And like I was being mean to all my friends. Like I just turned a different.
Yeah, I think in that moment they should have got a grievance counselor that could meet you on the level that you were at. Like if you were skipping it, they should have like kind of forced it and like showed up like, yeah, you thought you was gonna skip out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I get it.
And then one time I tried to leave, but I ended up going back because I was a goody two shoes. I was like, I can't fucking skip. So then it turned into, as I was starting to really feel and grieve, my aunt threw out all of her stuff. She didn't tell anybody, and she threw away all of my grandmom's things. And it's kind of just like she left us scrounging for memories and keepsakes. Like she threw away all her clothes, she threw away all her jewelry, all her perfumes and stuff, all her wigs that she had. And
did she ask before doing that? Like what was that? Like did she ask your grandfather before doing that?
I don't know if she didn't ask any of us because we were all pissed off at her for that. And it was just like, how dare you?
Yeah, I can see how dare you.
Like how dare you get rid of somebody else's things? And trying to recover from that was hard because it felt like now everything of her was gone.
Right.
I had like nothing left. She threw away all of my stuff as well. All of my childhood stuff, all of my trophies, all of my school projects and everything that was in the hallway. Now that she did ask me about, she said, hey, do you really care about all that stuff in the hallway? And I was like, well, not really, but I didn't think she was going to throw all my shit out.
Yeah, like what?
And it's just like, yo, like I literally have nothing. So that caused a blockage in my memory. Like, and for the longest time, I don't remember a lot about my childhood because I was just triggered.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So with that being said, I really had to heal and find myself, honestly, to become a different person. And I was just going into high school at this. Like she died in 8th grade. So I started high school grieving over my grandmother. So it's like, all right, I gotta really trying to figure out who I am. How do I even want to approach life? Like my best friend is gone. Then I moved in with my father.
Right.
And it's now like, okay, my best friend's gone. I have no keepsakes or memories of her that I really wanted to keep. I'm just using whatever I've gotten. And now I'm in a whole new environment, whole new space because I'm living with my dad and my stepmom now. So it's like, okay, so sorry, I had to take a pause for a moment there.
Yeah. We working, y'all.
So long story short, as a kid, that was a lot, going through a lot at 13 or 14. Like I went through a whole life transition. And some people might be like, oh, well, yeah, it's not a big deal. You know, you're going to live with your dad. Like now you get to.
I don't know that person. Like, I don't mean that in no weird way either, but
it's like I love him with all my heart, but I never lived with you. I have to learn to live with you, live with your girlfriend, live with this whole new diet of food that y'all buy. I don't eat any of this food.
Right.
And I had literally had a few mental breakdowns where it was like, I'm still low-key ashamed to this day, but I understand because I was a kid. I went to the kitchen to go get something to eat, and the fridge was filled with food. Mind you, I should be grateful. I'm looking in the fridge and all I see is this is not the food my grandma raised me on. This is I don't know what any of this food is. I've never had this before. I'm not in the mindset of, oh, let me try something new. Like, oh, it's like new shit. I'm just like, nothing's the same. And I had literally a mental breakdown. And my dad
That's fair.
Didn't process it that way. He looked at me like I was being spoiled. And I'm just like, I'm really not. I'm just freaking out because this is just not what I'm used to.
Right.
So there was that. And long story short, that led me on a journey of figuring out how to let people go in my life when people do leave. And it's shown me that one, that caused me to go through a lot of anxiety. That caused my depression. And it caused me to really destroy my faith in God. Like I was just like, I wasn't an atheist, but I was just like, yeah, God, yeah, fuck you. That's literally how I felt.
You was angry.
I was very angry because I'm like, I was angry at her because it's like, how could you leave me here by myself? I felt by myself. I was like, how could you leave me here by myself and then not tell me? Like, that's one thing. Like when we saw her body before we left, I was whispering in her ear, I'm like, don't leave me here by myself. I'm like, give me a sign that you're still here. And I didn't get a sign. And I remember that led up to a few years later, I went to my grandmother's house on my mom's side of the family. Mind you, we're all past all of that. Like we've rekindled and mended whatever mishaps we went through in the past. And I just remember walking in and, you know, I said my highs to everybody and I had a smile on my face. And I went into the basement and I was literally like bawling on my knees, crying to God, like, I need you to help me because I don't want to be here. Like I wasn't 100% suicidal to where I wanted to hurt myself, but I was just like, yo, I don't want to be here. Like I don't feel like I'm fitting in. I felt always outside of my body. I felt like I wasn't being me. And it was very hard to really just find myself.
Yeah, the pain of grief. Yeah,
the pain of grief, and I didn't realize that that's what it was from. Mind you, this is years later. I moved on past it. I'm not thinking about her every day, but it was just like something wasn't right.
Because they say like when you lose a parent, it's always something missing from you.
Yep.
After that,
but it's like back to the spiritual thing that you had mentioned about how they visit you. She came to see me. At that point, she did. At that point in time, and this wasn't when I was asleep. This is when I was alive. I said when I was alive. Oh my God!
When I was alive. When I was awake. The eyes were open, y'all.
Yo, eyes was open. I was breathing. And at that point in time, I was in theater. I was going to the Freedom Theater at the time, and we were doing a performance. And it was very hard to continue on, obviously, because I was depressed. But I was like, all right, okay, I'm gonna push through to just this one part of the performance, and then before we get to the next show, I'm gonna leave. I was like, I just want to at least finish what I started.
Right.
We got on stage and we did part of the performance. And I'm on the side. Like, I don't know if anyone's been on stage before. When you're on the side, you can there's like the black curtains that you can look through to see when you're supposed to come out. And I looked in the front of the crowd and she was sitting in the front row.
She was sitting in the front row.
And I'm being 100% honest. I saw her. Like she was literally a person sitting in the fucking seat and she was smiling at me. And I just looked at her like I was just distraught. Like I wasn't distraught in tears, but just like, yo, am I seeing what I see?
Right.
I see you. You see me looking at
you. I see you. You see me.
You see me. And I saw her. And I looked back to see if anybody was behind me. And then when I looked back in front of me again, she was gone. But in that moment, I was like, okay, you are still here. Okay. And that helped me move forward in my process. And of course, after that, there was still the depression and everything, but that was a good moving point forward for me. And I had to remember that after a while, like that was really like a stone for me to hang on to. So with that being said, that trauma is still deep within me, but it's healing because I still get nervous every time I walk into my grandparents' house and I see my grandfather because I'm always thinking, are you breathing?
Yeah, right.
Like, are you okay?
Right.
Like that was a constant trigger every day. I ended up moving back into my grandparents' house because it didn't work out with living with my dad for multiple reasons. But yeah. And I was just like, okay, I need to figure out where it stemmed from. Started doing therapy, started doing breath work. I started figuring out my form of prayer. I looked into different other religions. I tried to start going back to church, reading the Bible, depending on the people that I was talking to. And it all felt good, but it didn't feel like this isn't 100% me.
Right.
And it didn't feel like me until I found the term spirituality.
Right.
And with spirituality, it was like, okay, the term the universe, and then astrology, and all astrology. Of that. I know, and all of that really started to resonate when I found my natal chart. When I found my natal chart, and I
what is a natal chart?
So natal, NATAL chart is basically your birth chart when you were born. It's where the planets were aligned.
Oh, you mean like your moon, sun, and rising?
Yeah. So it's like the energy that you were born into. And you can use different apps, and I forgot which one I used, but I think it's like just natalchart.com. It's like a little pink background. It's cute. And everyone is different. But when I read it, when I tell you, it felt like I was reading a book of my life. Like verbatim, a book of my life. And I'm just like, yo,
no, I truly believe that we are like we're star children, because to make the components and the compounds in our life, 2 stars had the supernova for those particles to come together to create what we have here. Right. So I truly do believe that we are star children. I know a lot of people like to be like, oh, I don't believe in like, astro, like, all the signs and everything. But if you really look into it, find the one that you will, right, you will realize we are star children. And I'm looking at it
this way. Mind you, with the natal chart, you do need your date of the month that you were born, the day of the year, and if you know the time, that's good. Or if it was morning, afternoon, or evening, because it's specific, and with each person, you're 100% different. But I look at it this way: if you understand that life can't happen without the sun. And life can't happen without the moon.
Correct.
Like the water, how the moon, how the phase of the moon affects the water.
We're 86% water.
Of the sun affects the earth. If you believe that we can be affected by those 2 planets, why can't you believe that we're affected by all of the other planets that are in our solar system that are basically 10 times bigger than the moon?
Yes.
Or whatever freaking size they
are.
We're
the 3rd planet from the sun, the Seriously. 3rd rock from the sun. So like, come on now.
Like, if we're affected by that energy, we are affected by the other energy. Now, I'm not saying that, everything is already written. I don't know. That does seem to be the way that shit is, honestly. But it's just like, it helps. All it does for me is help me cope and understand that this isn't the end. There's always something else after. Yep. And as I've been going through a lot, like these last couple of years, it's been triggering me because I've been losing a lot of people for different ways, not through deaths. A few people, I have lost my other grandmother on my mom's side as well, but I've broken up from a long-term relationship. Right. And I'm just broken up from a long-term relationship. My grandmother passed, my great-grandmother passed, I should say. And then my aunt also passed. Okay. And another aunt that I didn't speak about. And then, I've kind of let go of a few friendships that I decided to just let fade out. Okay. And it reminded me, like, it's okay to let go. Yeah. It's okay to start over. And I needed to figure out how I do that and how to really process moving forward from those, and to realize that it actually does affect me. Yeah. On a deeper level than just the initial hurt, pain, and grief. And I had to figure out where it stemmed from. So that's my story. And my advice is really just take it one day at a time. Pay attention to your triggers and really just let yourself feel, honestly. Yeah. Because for me, feeling was the problem. I wasn't feeling. I was just being numb. Yeah. And I was putting a smile on my face. I was trying to be little Miss Perfect. I didn't want to be like the black sheep of the family.
Yeah, that's exhausting.
Deep down, I was just so fucking angry. Right. I was so angry. And I feel that's why a lot of people misunderstood me, because when I actually did express my emotions, it wouldn't really come out right.
It wouldn't come out
because it's so much pent up energy in me. And I feel like now that's why I'm actually extra expressive. Like I changed my voice up. I might use accents and things like that, because I feel like that helps me really delve deep and connect with other people. Yeah. So if there's anyone out there who is going through loss in any kind of way, just know that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's going to take time to heal.
Also, thank you for, sharing your story. Yeah. Because that can be traumatic. Finding somebody so close to you that you slept next to, that fed you, raised you for the 13 years. And then for them to be gone is ridiculous. Yeah. It's very much a trauma shock. It's like, whoa.
It's a whole different type of grief.
Yeah, it is.
It's like detrimental.
It is.
I don't know if you've seen, all right, the animation Lilo and Stitch, her laying on the floor. Yeah, that's not even half of it. Yeah, it's like that's the basics. That's the mood. All right,
I'm just done for the day. Yo, that's the basics.
We're done for everything right now.
So yeah, it gets bad. Yeah, it gets pretty bad.
Yeah, and when you get triggered, just don't let it pass you by. Like really, just
lay into it a little bit. I know that's lay into it.
It.
Understand, like, all right, well, that triggered me, and I need to now see why that triggered me. And I will say, with my partner, if he triggers me or I trigger him, I'll be like, all right, well, why don't we take a break for a second? Like, you take an hour to think, and then I'll take an hour to think. We'll come back in an hour, or I'll be like, let me finish my shift, and we'll talk after I get off.
Right, healthy boundaries.
Right,
true.
And then we'll come back, and I'll be like, so let's figure out why that triggered you or me. And then we'll start from there. Like, and I even had to do that, like, with myself. It was like, okay, why is this triggering me?
Right.
And then I realized, like, oh, it's because somebody has done this that hurt me, and I never want it to happen again, but it will, and I have to be prepared for that.
And realizing, a little recap on the last episode, realizing your triggers. Like, for me, I realized when I start holding my breath, I'm tense. Something's wrong. Either the outside environment is wrong and I'm protecting myself, or my inside environment is just freaking out for some reason. Right. And I have to realize where I've been triggered.
Yeah, you got to figure it out.
Yeah, and it's like, when that happens, it's just realize it's okay to start over.
Also, understand triggers don't always have to be words. It can be a bottle of water.
Yo,
I know that sounds so crazy. Something so simple. It's just the water that they used to drink, or the car they used to drive.
The smell, yo,
the smells.
I still have a bottle of her perfume.
Wow.
And we keep it in because I made an entertainment center, and I made like a memorial for her because we got her. She was cremated. Okay. So just realizing, like, when you have a moment and something comes up from your past, and you actually aren't triggered by it, acknowledge that too. Yeah. Acknowledge that you're not triggered by it anymore.
I get triggered every day. I see his car driving on the street every day. And I be like, this is a very old car. This is very old fashioned. What you popping up for? So
speaking of cars, I was triggered by my ex before, because he had, not this recent ex, a previous ex. When we broke up, he had followed me, and not on any hurtful type time, but it was still creepy. And his car at the time, I see it and I'm just like, oh, that's why I'm like, that's why when I see his car,
gives me the like, ick. It's like, go to hell.
Yo, sorry. I wish all my exes well. At the end of the day, listen, we had a past. That's okay. We moving forward. Your face.
Listen,
I'm not saying they're all forgiven.
The spiritual person in me wants me to wish somebody well, but at the end of the day, go to hell. And I don't mean it like if you only, I only mean it if you really did me wrong.
I got you.
But everybody else, I really do hope you go forward. But
to other people,
other ex, like, go to hell, bro. You knew what you was doing in time and place, especially since you was older than me. So go to hell.
Right.
Like, I listen, a lot of people want to be like modest and wish somebody well. Not I. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
I don't know. Like I said, I was raised with my grandma, and she was always the sweetest person. And I had to realize that's actually where I get that from.
Probably.
I'm so nice to other people, and they'd be like, "You're too nice. You're too nice." I'm like, "Am I really?" But then when I'm giving advice to some of my other friends, I feel like I'm being mean. They're like, "No, that was so nice." I'm like, "Oh,
okay." I know. I'm brutally honest. So.
And I'm working on that. I'm working on the brutal honesty and just not caring about what other people think, because I'm getting out of being that perfect person so that people don't get mad and leave me.
I only got that thought because I have a God complex.
God complex?
Yeah, it's
explain there. Wait, do we have enough time?
Yeah, I mean, we got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so a God complex is like when, like, well, for me, is like, yeah, sometimes I can feel like I'm not the shit, but then there's other times where I'm like, yeah, I know I'm the shit. I am the shit.
Gotcha.
I'm like, yeah, why would you fuck with me like that? So.
Is it a God complex or is it just confidence?
No, it's a God complex. Because then like some other stuff rolls into it, and I was like, yeah, I know
you feel it?
Yeah. So that's why I know it's a God complex. But I know when I'm doing it, it's usually in good moments. I'm doing it. It's not in a moment where somebody is down and I'm like, yeah, I'm over you. It's more like you did me wrong, and I shouldn't even be crying over you because I know I'm above you. That's when that complex comes out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, so ended on a God complex.
Ended on a God complex.
Feel yourself. Well, hopefully we helped heal some hearts out there.
Yeah.
Give you guys some advice.
I hope our stories weren't too triggering or traumatic.
And if it was, we still love you. We're here. We going through it too.
We're going through it too. Right, me too. Yeah.
No.
We will be here again next week.
Yes. Read the disclosure in the description below.
Description below. Understand that this is the whispers.
Yeah.
See y'all next week.
Bye.
Oh, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Please, and share if anything resonated with you.
We'll check the email.
Put a heart in the comments.
Keep forgetting to check it. But yes, we are here for you guys. We will see you next week. Love and peace. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace and love, guys.
Peace and love,
I like
guys.
that ending.
That used to be my email. I know. Peace and love, guys.
Peace and love.